Right, the simplest way to make the paper briquettes is to get some newspapers, immerse them in water, tear them up and immerse them in water like that till they're soft. An overnight soak is what's needed. Then transfer the mash into the bottom of a 6-inch flower pot, and it sits in an old bowl. To compress the paper mache, we've got another flower pot filled with stones. It sits on top, and in 24 hours that one's ready, and we move on to the next cycle. So we actually make 2 a day here, but it's easier to think in terms of 1 a day. Right, we'll go over to the barn now and see them stored. This is the finished article, but in the barn we've got the similar ones that are drying just now. Okay, this is the final stage of drying. They're just moved out to the barn and left to sit here. If we get some dry days, they'll dry just fine. The other type of bricks we're making today are the round ones, and they're put on just a tray to get dried. If the weather's good, we'll move outside and just sit them in a barrow and let the sun get at them. So there's a fair change you make as we go. Finished articles are stored. The finished articles are stored in hessian sacks, ready for use whenever we need them. These are quite light now, but they're still strong. So I think that's all that's in here. Okay, this is a Lee Hite double lever press, which we'll be using to make the majority of the bricks. I've got a table just to raise it up off the floor, and a tray from the garden centre which is used to put compost into flower pots. It's just to catch the water. Put that down there. And sit pressing top of it. The mould for the bricks, which is made from 3-inch by 1.5-inch timber. The bottom half I've lined with plastic, but that's not necessary. You can just have it as plain timber. Piece of fence post acts as a piston. This is the perforated tube that I was using in my other film. For the larger bricks I use this one, for the smaller ones I use the timber one. Got 2 raw materials. These newspapers that have been soaking for about an hour and a half, and some shredded paper with floor sweepings and whatever as an infill. I take one of the newspapers and split it into three. I open the paper out completely, take a handful of the shredded paper and put it in the paper and roll it up. This is putting the shredded paper or the wood chippings inside the paper like a Swiss roll. It was an idea from baking soda in Northern Ireland. So put it into the press, put the piston on at that side. Press down and the water comes out the bottom. Now there are no holes in that one, it's just bad workmanship that's caused cracks that the water finds its way out. Bring it up to the second part, give it a further press until I'm happy that I've got enough water out. Put it on top of this part. That's the brick I'm left with. So, when I made the bricks, exactly the same idea, but I can get bigger ones. The cylindrical ones take longer to dry, so if the weather's not good it's probably better to make the small rectangular or square ones rather than this. The press I'll put details on. It's a Lee Hite Press with a few modifications that I've made just to suit my way of working. I have put this piece on at a taper here, just with a piece of wood underneath here to stop it bending, to keep it at the same. If you measure from there to there and from there to there, it's really the same, but it can get a lot more pressure up at this end. But it lets me make all the bricks exactly the same size. The materials, there are a number of different sources for the newspapers. A newsagent shop sometimes has returns and they only take a small corner off, the rest of the paper is redundant, so we get it. Other newspapers I get from pensioners. Instead of recycling them, I just go around and collect it from the pensioners. The shredded paper comes from offices and it's quite a valuable one. Another source for newspapers is cafes sometimes provide complimentary newspapers, and these are obviously extra at the end of the day. And what else have I got? I think all you have to do is make sure you pick them up on a regular basis if we keep the customer happy there. Right, I think that'll do us. There's a lot more I meant to say about that.